Most people spend their entire lives trying to stay comfortable. They run from pain. They avoid struggle. They dodge pressure. They escape responsibility. But let me tell you something real today. Everything you want in life lives on the other side of discomfort. You don't grow in comfort. You don't evolve in comfort. You don't discover your strength in comfort. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Every time you choose sleep over discipline, comfort wins. Every time you choose excuses over effort, comfort wins. Every time you choose fear over action, comfort wins. And slowly, quietly, comfort steals your future. See, greatness doesn't come from what feels good. Greatness comes from what makes you better. Waking up early when your body says stay in bed is discomfort. Training when your muscles are screaming is discomfort. Studying when your friends are partying is discomfort. Having hard conversations instead of avoiding them is discomfort. Looking in the mirror and admitting you need to change is discomfort. But that discomfort is the price of transformation. You don't become strong by doing easy things. You become strong by doing hard things consistently. Most people want results without sacrifice. They want success without struggle. They want rewards without responsibility. But life doesn't work like that. You can't cheat the process. You can't shortcut discipline. You can't negotiate with hard work. You pay now with effort, or you pay later with regret. And regret is heavier than discipline. Let me tell you something powerful. Your future self is watching you right now. Every decision you make today is shaping who you become tomorrow. Every time you quit, your future gets weaker. Every time you push, your future gets stronger. Stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a lie. You move first. Confidence comes later. Champions don't wait for motivation. They move when they're tired. They work when it hurts. They show up when nobody's clapping. They grind in silence and let results make the noise. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your teacher. Diamonds don't form in comfort. They form under pressure. The pain you feel today is building the power you'll need tomorrow. The struggle you're in right now is shaping your character. The obstacles you face are not stopping you. They are preparing you. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You can't keep doing what's easy and expect a hard-earned life. You can't live soft and expect to be strong. You can't stay in your comfort zone and expect extraordinary results. Growth demands sacrifice. You might have to give up late nights. You might have to lose some friends. You might have to be misunderstood. You might have to walk alone for a season. But that season of loneliness will produce a lifetime of leadership. Stop asking for an easier life. Ask for a stronger mindset. Ask for more discipline. Ask for tougher skin. Because comfort builds nothing. Discomfort builds everything. Your excuses feel comfortable. Your discipline feels painful. Your discipline feels painful. But one gives you stories, and the other gives you success. Most people quit when it gets hard. That's why most people stay average. When your body says stop, your mind must say continue. When your emotions say quit, your purpose must say keep going. When fear shows up, courage must rise. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. So if your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your habits are strong, your future will be unstoppable. Success doesn't come from big moments. It comes from small decisions repeated daily. Choose the gym over the couch. Choose books over scrolling. Choose progress over pleasure. Choose consistency over comfort. Temporary discomfort leads to permanent results. Most people choose comfort today and suffer tomorrow. Winners suffer today and live free tomorrow. You have greatness inside you, but greatness requires grind. You have potential inside you, but potential demands pressure. You have dreams inside you, but dreams require discipline. Nothing changes until you change. Stop negotiating with your lips. Stop making excuses for your laziness. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The version of you that you want to become is waiting on the version of you that's willing to suffer for it. So get uncomfortable, get tired, get sweaty, get disciplined, fall down and get back up, fail forward, because every rep matters. Every hour counts, every sacrifice adds up. One day all this pain will make sense. One day all this effort will pay off. One day you'll look back and thank yourself for choosing discomfort. Not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. Most people don't fall short because they lack opportunity. Most people don't lose because they aren't smart enough. They lose because they choose comfort over growth. They choose ease over effort. They choose convenience over commitment. And slowly, quietly, comfort becomes the cage that traps their potential. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels good in the moment. But comfort is dangerous because comfort doesn't challenge you. Comfort doesn't stretch you. Comfort doesn't demand more from you. Comfort allows you to stay exactly where you are while life moves forward without you. You don't become great by staying comfortable. You don't build strength by avoiding resistance. You don't discover who you truly are by living inside your comfort zone. Everything extraordinary lives outside of what feels easy. Think about it. Muscles don't grow without strain. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Leaders aren't created in convenience. Every powerful transformation in your life begins with discomfort. But most people don't want transformation. They want convenience. They want results without sacrifice. They want success without struggle. They want rewards without responsibility. They want a better life without becoming better people. That's why so many people stay stuck. They wake up late because it feels good. They skip workouts because it's easier. They avoid hard conversations because it's uncomfortable. They settle for average because it's familiar. They tell themselves tomorrow because today requires effort. And before they realize it, years pass. Years of potential waste delayed. Years of greatness buried under excuses. Comfort doesn't destroy you loudly, it destroys you quietly. It whispers, rest a little longer. It whispers, you deserve a break. It whispers, you'll start tomorrow. And those whispers turn into habits, habits of delay, habits of avoidance, habits of mediocrity. Let me tell you something real. Every time you choose comfort, you are voting against your future. Every time you avoid discomfort, you are reinforcing weakness. Every time you take the easy path, you are training yourself to quit when things get hard. Greatness demands resistance. You don't rise to greatness accidentally. You don't stumble into success. You don't wake up one day disciplined. You become great through deliberate, uncomfortable choices made daily. Waking up early when your body says sleep, that's discomfort. Training when you're tired, that's discomfort. Studying when others are relaxing, that's discomfort. Staying focused when distractions are everywhere, that's discomfort. But that discomfort is building something inside you. It's building resilience, it's building character, it's building mental toughness. And mental toughness is what separates winners from quitters. Most people quit the moment things get hard. They quit when motivation fades. They quit when results don't come fast. They quit when effort becomes uncomfortable. That's why most people stay average. Average lives in comfort. Average avoids pain. Average avoids pressure. But you weren't created to be average. You were created to grow. You were created to evolve. You were created to rise. And rising requires resistance. Comfort tells you to sit down. Discipline tells you to stand up. Comfort tells you to relax. Discipline tells you to work. Comfort tells you to stay the same. Discipline tells you to change. You can't serve both. Either comfort controls your life or discipline does. There's no middle ground. People love to talk about success, but they don't love to talk about the process. They love to see the results, but they don't want to live the routine. They want the applause, but they don't want the isolation. They want the reward, but they don't want the grind. But every great person you admire paid a price you didn't see. They woke up early when nobody was watching. They worked late when everyone else was sleeping. They failed repeatedly. They doubted themselves. They felt tired. They felt scared. They felt uncomfortable. But they kept going. They didn't allow comfort to steal their destiny. They understood something powerful. Temporary discomfort leads to permanent growth. Choose comfort today and suffer tomorrow. Champion, suffer today and lie free tomorrow. Champion yourself is watching every choice you make right now. Your future is shaped by what you do on ordinary days, not special ones. It's shaped by whether you show up when you don't feel like it. It's shaped by whether you push when it hurts. It's shaped by whether you stay committed when progress feels slow. Success is not built in moments of motivation. It's built in moments of discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Comfort makes you emotional. Discipline makes you consistent. And consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Let me tell you something else. Comfort makes you soft. It lowers your tolerance for struggle. It weakens your ability to endure. It trains your mind to escape instead of confront. That's why small problems feel big to comfortable people. They panic under pressure. They collapse under criticism. They quit under challenge. But people who live in discomfort, they're different. They stay calm in chaos. They stand firm in adversity. They rise when others retreat because they've trained their mind to survive hard moments. They build strength through struggle. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger, but only if you stop choosing comfort. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Perfect moments don't exist. There's only now. There's only effort. There is only action. Stop telling yourself you'll start when you feel ready. Ready is a lie. You become ready by moving. Stop negotiating with your excuses. Feel comfortable. Discipline feels painful, but one gives you stories. The other gives you success. Comfort tells you to stay small. Greatness tells you to rise. Comfort tells you to rise. Comfort tells you to avoid risk. Greatness tells you to take chances. Comfort tells you to protect your feelings. Greatness tells you to build your future. You can't build an extraordinary life with ordinary habits. You can't expect elite results while living a soft lifestyle. You must choose your hard. Working hard is hard. Being broke is hard. Discipline is hard. Regret is hard. Growth is hard. Staying stuck is hard. Choose your hard. Every rep matters. Every page matters. Every early morning matters. Every late night matters. Every sacrifice matters. It's all adding up even when you can't see it, and there will be days when you feel tired. Days when you feel unmotivated, days when you feel like quitting, those days matter the most because that's when comfort tries to take control. That's when your character is tested. That's when champions are separated from the crowd. When your body says stop, your mind must say continue. When your emotions say quit, your purpose must say keep going. You don't need more talent. You need more discipline. You don't need more luck. You need more consistency. You don't need easier circumstances. You need a stronger mindset. Comfort is costing you more than you realize. It's costing you progress. It's costing you profit. It's costing you opportunities. It's costing you opportunity. It's costing you growth. But the moment you choose discomfort, everything changes. You start waking up earlier. You start working harder. You start thinking differently. You start moving with purpose. You stop chasing comfort and start chasing comfort and start chasing progress. And slowly, the version of you that once avoided struggle becomes the version that thrives in it. You become mentally tougher. You become emotionally stronger. You become spiritually sharper. You stop running from pain and start using it. You stop fearing pressure and start embracing it. Because pressure creates power. The struggle you're in right now is shaping the strength you'll need tomorrow. The discomfort you feel today is building the discipline that will change your life. Nothing grows in comfort. Everything grows in challenge. So get uncomfortable. Wake up earlier. Work harder. Push further. Demand more from yourself. Be willing to look different. Be willing to walk alone. Be willing to be misunderstood. Because average people will never understand extraordinary discipline. They'll call you crazy. They'll say you're doing too much. They'll tell you to relax. But they won't pay your bills. They won't build your future. They won't carry your regrets. This is your life, and greatness is waiting on the other side of discomfort. Most people are waiting to feel motivated. They're waiting for the perfect move. They're waiting for energy. They're waiting for inspiration. They're waiting for that magical moment when everything feels right. But let me tell you something that can change your life. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation depends on emotion. Motivation disappears the moment things get uncomfortable. Motivation fades when progress feels slow. Motivation leaves when life gets hard. If you build your life on motivation, your results will always be inconsistent. Because motivation doesn't show up every day. Discipline does. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. Discipline doesn't wait for excitement. Discipline moves whether you're tired or energized, confident or afraid, inspired or empty. That's why discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation says, I'll start tomorrow. Discipline says, I'll start now. Motivation says, I don't feel like it. Discipline says, I'll do it anyway. Motivation looks for comfort. Discipline creates consistency. Most people quit because they depend on motivation. They work only when they feel good. They study only when they're inspired. They train only when they're excited. And the moment that feeling disappears, so does their effort. That's why their progress stops. Real success is built in moments when you don't feel like showing up. It's built on tired mornings. It's built on lonely nights. It's built on boring routines. It's built on silent sacrifices. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when nobody is watching. Nobody claps when you wake up early. Nobody cheers when you choose the gym. Nobody celebrates when you study late. But those are the moments that shape champions. Everybody wants the reward, but nobody wants the routine. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants the sacrifice. Everybody wants the outcome, but few are willing to embrace the process. Let me tell you something real. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. You don't become great by doing big things once in a while. You become great by doing small things consistently. Consistency is what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers talk, doers execute. Dreamers wait, doers move. Dreamers hope, doers work. You don't need hype. You need habits. You don't need emotional speeches every day. You need structure. You don't need more inspiration. You need more discipline. Because discipline builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds results. Most people are controlled by their feelings. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel bored, they quit. If they feel frustrated, they walk away. But disciplined people don't let emotions run their lives. They move even when they're tired. They push even when it hurts. They stay focused even when distractions scream. They understand something powerful. Feelings change, commitments don't. Your emotions are temporary. Your goals are permanent. So why let temporary feelings control permanent dream? Control permanent dream? Every day you have two choices. Listen to your emotions or lead them. If you let emotions lead, your life will be unstable. If you lead your emotions, your life will be unstoppable. Discipline is choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. It's choosing the gym over the couch. It's choosing books over scrolling. It's choosing growth over comfort. It's choosing consistency over convenience. It's choosing progress over excuses. Most people avoid discipline because discipline is uncomfortable. Discipline requires structure. Discipline demands sacrifice. Discipline forces you to confront your weaknesses, but discipline also builds character. Discipline builds focus. Discipline builds resilience. Discipline builds self-respect. Every time you do what you say you would do, you build trust with yourself, and self-trust is powerful. When you trust yourself, you move differently. You speak differently. You think differently. You stop doubting your ability because you know you will show up. But when you constantly break promises to yourself, your confidence dies. You say you'll wake up early, but you don't. You say you'll start working out, but you don't. You say you'll focus, but you don't. And slowly, your mind learns not to believe you. Discipline restores that trust. It teaches your brain that when you say something, you mean it. That's strength. That's power. Most people wait for life to change. Disciplined people change their habits. Most people wait for opportunities. Disciplined people prepare for them. Most people complain about their circumstances. Disciplined people create new ones. Success is not about luck. It's about routines. It's about showing up when it's boring. It's about repeating the same positive actions until they become automatic. It's about mastering the basics. There's nothing glamorous about discipline. It's quiet. It's quiet. It's lonely. It's repetitive. It doesn't get likes or applause, but it works. Discipline turns average into excellence. Discipline turns potential into performance. Discipline turns dreams into reality. Let me tell you something else. Discipline gives you freedom. Most people think discipline is restrictive. They think discipline takes away fun. They think discipline is punish, but discipline is liberation. When you're disciplined, you control your time. When you're disciplined, you control your habits. When you're disciplined, you control your future. Without discipline, life controls you. Your cravings control you. Your laziness controls you. Your distractions control you. Your distractions control you. But with discipline, you take your power back. You stop being a slave to comfort. You stop being controlled by impulse. You stop reacting and start leading. Discipline teaches you how to delay gratification. And delayed gratification is the foundation of greatness. You give up comfort today so you can live free tomorrow. You sacrifice now so you can succeed later. You struggle in silence so you can shine in public. People see the victory, but they don't see the routine. They see the success, but they don't see the discipline. They see the results, but they don't see the repetition. They don't see the early mornings. They don't see the lonely nights. They don't see the moments you wanted to quit. But you kept going because discipline told you to. There will be days when motivation is gone, completely gone. You'll feel tired. You'll feel unmotivated. You'll feel overwhelmed. Those are the days that define you. Those are the days when discipline must take over. That's when you show who you really are. Anybody can work when they feel good. Champions work when they don't. Anybody can stay consistent when results come fast. Yeah, champions stay consistent when progress is slow. Anybody can start. You can finish. Discipline is what makes you finish. Your future doesn't care about your excuses. Your future cares about your action. Every small disciplined decision compound. Every workout, every study session, every focused hour, it's all enough. You might not see it today, you might not feel it this week, but one day it will hit you and you'll realize the disciplined days built a successful life. Stop waiting for motivation. Build discipline, create routine, set standards, hold yourself accountable, become obsessed with consistency because motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent, and permanent discipline creates permanent results. Pressure is not something to fear. Pressure is not something to run from. Pressure is not a sign that you are failing. Pressure is a sign that you are growing, that you are stepping into something bigger than yourself, that you are being stretched beyond what you thought possible. Most people run from pressure because they confuse discomfort with danger. They confuse struggle with weakness, and they confuse responsibility with burden. But let me tell you the truth. Every single great person you admire in history, every leader, every champion, every innovator, every legend felt pressure. They faced it, they leaned into it, and they allowed it to mold them. Pressure creates power. Pressure creates resilience. Pressure creates discipline. Pressure creates mental toughness. Pressure separates those who dream from those who do. When you are under pressure, your body wants to quit, your mind wants to panic, and your heart wants to retreat. That is natural. That is the first signal that you are on the path of growth. Pressure is uncomfortable. Pressure is demanding. Pressure exposes your weaknesses. But here's the beauty. Pressure also exposes your strengths. It exposes the areas where you can rise, where you can improve, where you can evolve. You cannot escape pressure in life. The moment you try to avoid responsibility, the moment you try to avoid hard choices, the moment you shy away from challenge, life will find a way to apply pressure to you anyway. It will not go away. The difference is whether you allow it to defeat you or whether you allow it to empower you. The most successful people in the world are not those who had an easy path. They are not those who avoided obstacles. They are the ones who faced pressure head on and used it as fuel. Every time you are pushed beyond your limits, every time you are tested, every time you are forced to go further than you think you can, you are developing something inside you that cannot be taken away. Pressure builds character. Pressure builds confidence. Pressure builds an unshakable mindset. It teaches you how to stand firm when chaos surrounds you. It teaches you how to make decisions when fear whispers in your ear. It teaches you how to keep moving forward when others fall back. Most people want power, but they run from pressure. They want strength, but they avoid struggle. They want success, but they hate discomfort. And that is why most people never reach their potential. You cannot have power without pressure. You cannot develop discipline without pressure. You cannot achieve greatness without feeling the weight of responsibility and the tension of challenge. Pressure is the forge that melts away weakness and shapes excellence. When you feel it, embrace it. When it gets hard, lean into it. When life is demanding, respond with determination. The very thing you are avoiding is the thing that will make you unstoppable. When I say pressure creates power, I do not mean it magically turns you into a hero overnight. I mean that pressure gives you the opportunity to grow in ways that comfort never can. Comfort will allow you to feel good for a moment, but it will never make you better. It will never expand your limits. Comfort will not prepare you for the storms of life. Pressure will. Every trial, every challenge, every demanding situation is a chance to develop skills, to learn patience, to strengthen your resolve, to increase your capacity. Those who thrive under pressure are those who recognize the hidden opportunity and struggle and choose to engage rather than escape. Pressure is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the universe's way of saying, Oh, you are ready for more. It is the world telling you, if you can handle this, you can handle. So many people experience pressure and immediately panic. They complain. They complain. They doubt themselves. They wish for an easier path. But champions see pressure and say, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly the moment that will shape me. They understand every ounce of tension, every heartbeat of stress, every second of challenge is building the power they need for tomorrow. Think about athletes at the highest level. The ones who win championships, the ones who break records, the ones who dominate their sport. Every single one of them trains under pressure. They push their bodies past pain, past fatigue, past discomfort. They practice when no one is watching. They work harder than anyone expects. And the pressure of competition is what separates the good from the great. The same principle applies to life outside sports. The pressure you feel in your job, in your studies, in your relationships, in your personal growth is the training ground for your future victories. Pressure forces clarity. When you are under extreme stress, you are forced to focus on what truly matters. You are forced to prioritize. You are forced to make decisions quickly. Most people panic under pressure because they are not trained to handle it. They have never conditioned their minds to respond calmly and strategically. But when you practice embracing pressure, when you regularly step into challenging situations, your mind adapts. You become capable of handling high-stakes scenarios without losing control. You become capable of making decisions with confidence when others hesitate. You become capable of turning chaos into opportunity. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every major achievement has been born from pressure. Thomas Edison felt pressure as he failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Michael Jordan felt pressure every time he stepped on the court with millions watching. Every entrepreneur who has ever built an empire has felt the crushing weight of expectation, risk, and uncertainty. And what separated them from those who quit was not luck. It was the ability to harness pressure, to turn stress into energy, to convert adversity into growth. Pressure teaches patience. In a world that wants instant results, pressure reminds you that mastery takes time. It forces you to endure, to persevere, and to stay committed when the process feels too slow. Pressure forces discipline, it forces structure. It forces you to develop systems that work even when motivation is gone. When you live in a state of consistent pressure, you cultivate habits that prepare you for anything. You learn to stay composed, to stay focused, and to keep moving even when the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Pressure also reveals character. When things get tough, who are you really? When the situation is high stakes, what do? Do you fold under stress or do you rise above it? Do you blame others or do you take responsibility? Do you quit or do you push forward? The person you become under pressure is the person you will be in life's defining moments. And that is why pressure is such a powerful teacher. It shows you exactly who you are and who you have the potential to become. Many people complain about their circumstances in which life was easier. They don't understand that pressure is not the enemy. It is the tool. It is the instrument that can mold them into something greater. Every challenge, every difficulty, every demanding situation is a chance to increase your capacity for greatness. The higher the pressure, the greater the power you can develop. The heavier the load, the stronger the character you can build. The more challenging the moment, the more resilient the person you will become. Pressure creates urgency. When you are pushed against the wall, you must act. When deadlines loom, when expectations rise, when stakes are high, excuses no longer work. Pressure forces action. It forces you to think creatively. It forces you to prioritize. It forces you to push beyond limits you didn't even know you had. People who run from pressure remain stagnant. People who embrace pressure accelerate their growth. They become solutions, focused. They become decisive. They become unstoppable. Pressure also builds courage. It forces you to confront your fears. It forces you to take risks. It forces you to face situations that are uncomfortable or intimidating. And every time you survive a pressurized moment, your courage grows. You realize that fear is temporary, but the strength you gain from facing it is permanent. Each time you choose to step into a challenging situation, you expand your capacity to handle even greater challenges in the future. Pressure is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't matter your background, your education, your social status. Everyone experiences pressure. The difference is how you respond. Some crumble, some complain, some freeze. Others lean in, fight back, and use it as fuel. Those who use pressure as fuel gain momentum, skill, and confidence. They understand that adversity is not a roadblock. It is a stepping stone. They understand that struggle is not punishment. It is preparation. They understand that challenges are not signs to quit. They are invitations to rise. The reality is life will always apply pressure. You can't avoid it. You can't negotiate it away. You can't escape it by choosing comfort. You will face deadlines, criticism, uncertainty, loss, failure, and unexpected challenges. The question is not where the pressure will come, it will. The question is how you will respond. Will you let it crush you, or will you let it create you? Will you shrink under it, or will you grow from it? Will you grow from it? Will you complain, or will you conquer? Pressure teaches focus. When everything is on the line, distractions fall away. You learn to zero in on what actually matters. You learn to prioritize effort over excuses. You learn to direct energy where it counts. Most people fail under pressure because they waste energy on things that don't matter. Champions succeed under pressure because they know where to put their attention and effort. They recognize that pressure magnifies reality. It magnifies strength or weakness, clarity or confusion. The more they practice handling pressure, the more capable they become of thriving under it. Every challenge you face is a test. Every stressful moment is a chance to grow stronger. Every demanding situation is an opportunity to increase your capacity. Pressure creates power, but only if you step into it. Avoid it and it will weaken you. Embrace it and it will make you unstoppable. The next time life pushes you to your limits, do not panic. Do not retreat. Do not wish it away. Lean in. Work harder. Think smarter. Push further. Every ounce of effort under pressure is investment in that person you are becoming. Pressure teaches patience, focus, courage, and resilience. Pressure forces action, sharpens decision-making, and develops mental toughness. Pressure shows you your weaknesses and allows you to strengthen them. Pressure separates the dreamers from the doers. Pressure separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And when you consistently embrace it, it becomes the fuel that propels you to heights you never thought possible. No one ever became powerful by living easy. No one ever built a legacy by avoiding difficulty. No one ever achieved greatness by shrinking from responsibility. Pressure creates power because it forces you to grow, adapt, and conquer. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. It turns hesitation into confidence. It turns fear into courage. It turns dreams into reality. The moment you stop running from pressure and start using it as your advantage, you unlock the secret of unstoppable success. Pressure is inevitable. It is constant. It is unavoidable. But your response is up to you. Will you crumble or will you rise? Will you complain or will you conquer? Will you freeze or will you fight? Will you settle or will you soar? The choice is yours. Pressure creates power, but only for those willing to embrace it, endure it, and use it to become stronger, sharper, and better than they were yesterday. Step into pressure, harness it, and watch as it shapes you into the person you were meant to be. Growth requires sacrifice. There's no shortcut. There's no easy way. There is no magic formula that allows you to grow without giving something up. Every single person who has ever achieved something significant in life has paid a price. They have given up comfort for progress. They have traded leisure for learning. They have exchanged temporary pleasures for long-term gain. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is the currency of growth. If you want to see transformation in your life, you must be willing to pay that price. Growth and sacrifice are inseparable. You cannot have one without the other. When people tell you that success is easy, they are lying. Growth is hard, uncomfortable, and demanding. It asks for your time, your energy, your focus, and often your relationship. It asks for consistency when you feel like quitting. It asks for discipline when you feel like relaxing. And it asks for courage when fear is trying to stop you. Every morning you wake up, you are faced with choices. You can choose the easy path, the comfortable path, the path of least resistance, or you can choose the path of growth. And growth is never easy. It demands that you push past fatigue, ignore distraction, and overcome your inner resistance. It demands that you do the things you don't feel like doing, but know will bring long-term results. Growth asks you to wake up early when your body wants to rest, to work late when your mind wants to quit, to study when your friends are out enjoying themselves, to invest in yourself when it feels inconvenient. These sacrifices are the price you pay for a better future, and every successful person in history has paid it in one form or another. People avoid sacrifice because it is uncomfortable. They want instant gratification. They want results without effort. They want to enjoy the rewards without doing the work. But the truth is, you cannot have a bigger life without bigger effort. You cannot experience exponential growth without exponential commitment. Every great athlete, entrepreneur, artist, or leader has given up something to achieve what they had. They sacrificed time, energy, social approval, and comfort. They prioritized long-term results over temporary satisfaction. They understood that nothing meaningful is created without cost. And that understanding allowed them to rise above mediocrity while most people stayed the same. Sacrifice is not just about working harder. It is about choosing wisely what you will give up to get what you want. It is about making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. Growth requires prioritization. It requires focus. It requires the ability to delay gratification. It requires saying no to the things that do not serve your goals so you can say yes to the things that do. It is a constant process of evaluation, discipline, and decision making. Every choice you make is either moving you toward your dreams or keeping you trapped in your comfort zone. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who consistently choose the former. Sacrifice also means embracing discomfort on a daily basis. It means willingly stepping out of your comfort zone and confronting challenges that others avoid. It means enduring pain, rejection, and failure with a mindset of learning and growth. When you choose growth, you must accept that life will be difficult at times. You will face resistance. You will experience setbacks. You will encounter moments where quitting seems like the easiest option. But those who embrace sacrifice understand that these moments are not signs to give up. They are opportunities to strengthen your character, expand your resilience, and increase your capacity for success. Growth requires a sacrifice of old habits. You cannot move forward with outdated thinking, lazy routines, or negative mindsets. You must identify what is holding you back and be willing to give it up. This could be unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or fear-based thinking. Sacrifice is not easy because it often involves letting go of what is familiar and stepping into the unknown. But the moment you do, you create space for something greater to enter in your life. Growth cannot occur while holding on to what keeps you stagnant. The things you cling to for comfort are often the very things preventing your success. Every decision is sacrificed to their compounds over time. Every extra hour of work, every disciplined choice, every time you resist temptation, every moment you push through discomfort, you are building your future self. Growth is a process, not an event. It is the sum of all the sacrifices you make over months, years, and decades. The people who achieve lasting success understand that nothing worth having comes without cost. They embrace sacrifice not as a burden, but as a responsibility to themselves and their vision. They understand that each small act of discipline contributes to exponential progress. Sacrifice also involves patience. It requires the understanding that results are rarely immediate. Growth takes time, and many people quit before they see the fruits of their labor. But the reality is, the longer you persist, the more powerful the impact of your sacrifices becomes. Every early morning, every late night, every hour of focused effort is an investment in a future that will reward your consistency. Growth requires the willingness to work today even when you do not see immediate results. It requires faith that the effort you put in now will compound into something extraordinary later. There is a difference between comfort and sacrifice. Comfort seeks pleasure now. Sacrifice seeks benefit later. Comfort delays action. Sacrifice accelerates progress. Comfort nurtures weakness. Sacrifice builds strength. Most people choose comfort because it is easy, but the easy path leads to mediocrity. The path of sacrifice is difficult, but it leads to excellence. Those who are willing to give up temporary satisfaction to achieve long-term success are the ones who become unstoppable. Sacrifice also teaches discipline. Every time you choose to do what is necessary, instead of what is easy, you are training yourself to stay committed You are training your mind to focus on the long-term goal instead of immediate pleasure. You are training your body to endure discomfort. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and the person you want to become, and is built through consistent sacrifice. Without sacrifice, discipline cannot exist. Without discipline, growth cannot exist. Without growth, your potential remains unfulfilled. Many people fear sacrifice because they equate it with loss. They think that giving up something means they are losing. But true sacrifice is not loss. It is an investment. When you give up the wrong habits, the wrong mindset, or the wrong activity, you are creating space for growth, opportunity, and achievement. The things you sacrifice today are seeds that will grow into your success tomorrow. The pain of giving up comfort is temporary, but the rewards of growth are permanent. Every successful person has made choices that felt uncomfortable in the moment, but produced life-changing results over time. Sacrifice also demands courage. It is not easy to walk away from familiar routines or to confront difficult challenges. It takes bravery to persist when the world is easy, when distractions are everywhere, when others are enjoying what you are resisting. Courage and sacrifice go hand in hand because growth is always found on the other side of fear. When you step out of your comfort zone, when you work harder than anyone else, when you stay committed even when it hurts, you are demonstrating the courage necessary for meaningful transformation. Growth also requires the sacrifice of time. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Every hour you waste is an opportunity lost. Successful people understand that to achieve extraordinary results, they must prioritize their time and invest it wisely. They say no to activities, people, and distractions that do not align with their vision. They understand that each hour invested in growth compounds into a stronger, more capable version of themselves. Sacrifice is the discipline to spend time on what matters most, even when it is not convenient, enjoyable, or immediately rewarding. Another form of sacrifice is the willingness to endure criticism, judgment, and misunderstanding. People will not always understand your journey. They may question your decisions. They may doubt your priorities. But growth requires that you stay committed regardless of others' opinion. The path of growth is rarely popular or easy. It's often lonely and misunderstood. Those who thrive understand that the sacrifices they make today will be recognized tomorrow. And more importantly, that they are accountable to themselves, not to the approval of others. Sacrifice is also about consistency. Growth is not achieved in bursts of effort, but in sustained, repeated action over time. Every disciplined choice, every focused effort, every challenge you push through adds up. It compounds. It shapes your character. It strengthens your ability. Those who achieve lasting growth understand that consistency, fueled by sacrifice, is far more powerful than sporadic bursts of motivation or effort. Without daily sacrifices, progress is slow and inconsistent. With daily sacrifices, progress becomes inevitable. Sacrifice teaches resilience. Every time you endure difficulty, every time you push through discomfort, every time you refuse to quit, you are training your mind and body to handle more. You are preparing yourself for the inevitable challenges of life. Growth requires that you develop resilience because setbacks, failures, and obstacles are guaranteed. It is not a matter of if you will face difficulty. It is a matter of how you respond when it comes. Those who embrace sacrifice are better equipped to handle adversity and continue moving forward toward their goals. Finally, growth requires sacrifice because it demands that you focus on your long-term vision instead of short-term pleasure. You must be willing to give up immediate gratification for a future payoff. You must prioritize progress over comfort. You must choose to endure discomfort today so that you can enjoy freedom, achievement, and fulfillment tomorrow. Sacrifice is not easy, but it is necessary. It is the bridge between who you are now and who you can become. Those who understand this principle and act on it will achieve results beyond what most people ever imagined. Those who refuse to sacrifice will remain stagnant, frustrated, and unfulfilled. The choice is yours. You can chase comfort and mediocrity, or you can embrace sacrifice and greatness. Growth will never come without it, and nothing worth achieving in life is ever free. Embracing discomfort is the secret that separates ordinary people from extraordinary people. Most individuals spend their entire lives avoiding challenges, avoiding hard decisions, avoiding anything that stretches them outside of what feels safe. They cling to routines, to comfort, to familiarity, and they tell themselves it is enough. But it is never enough. Comfort might feel good for a moment, but it produces stagnation. It produces mediocrity. It produces a life far smaller than the one you are capable of living. If you want to tap into your full potential, you must embrace discomfort because growth lives outside of ease. Growth lives in the moments when you push past fear, when you challenge yourself beyond what you thought was possible, when you decide to move forward even when every part of your body and mind wants to quit. Comfort is a lie, but discomfort is the truth. The truth is that to reach new heights, to achieve your dreams, and to become the person you were meant to be, you must face moments that are difficult, situations that test you, and challenges that make you uncomfortable. Discomfort is a natural part of the process of becoming great. Every successful person you admire has faced discomfort in some form, whether it was waking up before dawn to practice, sacrificing social activities to study, or stepping into leadership positions when they didn't feel ready. These individuals understood a powerful principle. Discomfort is not something to fear. It is something to leverage. When you embrace discomfort, you are telling yourself that you are willing to do the hard work that others are willing to do. You are training your mind to persist when it's easier to quit. You are training your character to stand when the world pushes you down. And you are training your resilience to endure the storms that life inevitably brings. Discomfort is not an enemy. It is your ally if you choose to see it that way. The human mind naturally resists discomfort. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. That's why most people give up so easily. They choose the path of least resistance. They settle for mediocrity because it feels safe, because it feels familiar. But every time you choose safety over challenge, you are choosing smallness over greatness. Every time you refuse to step outside your comfort zone, you are limiting your own potential. The only way to grow, to expand, to evolve is to willingly accept the unease that comes with pushing yourself beyond your current limits. You must remind yourself that temporary discomfort produces permanent transformation. The pain you feel today, the unease you endure now, is the price of becoming stronger, smarter, and more capable. Embracing discomfort requires a shift in mindset. You cannot see it as punishment or a burden. You must see it as a training ground. You must see it as the arena where greatness is forged. Every challenging moment, every moment of pressure, every time you are forced to operate outside of your comfort zone is an opportunity to unlock a new level of potential within you. It is in these moments that you discover what you are truly capable of, what you are willing to fight for, and how far you are willing to go to achieve your goals. Discomfort teaches lessons that comfort never can. It teaches patience, resilience, persistence, and courage. It shows you the areas where you are strong and the areas where you must improve. And when you learn to embrace discomfort, you turn what once felt like a limitation into a source of power. Most people fear failure. It is uncomfortable. They fear rejection because it is uncomfortable. They fear hard work because it is uncomfortable. But every successful person has learned that discomfort is a necessary companion on the journey to success. They do not avoid it. They step into it willingly. They do not shrink from challenge. They confront it. They do not complain about difficulty. They use it as fuel. Discomfort is the lever that allows you to move the weight of mediocrity off your shoulders and into the realm of excellence. The greater the discomfort, the greater the opportunity for growth. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the potential reward. If you want extraordinary results, you must be willing to endure extraordinary effort. Embracing discomfort also builds discipline. Every time you choose to do what is hard rather than what is easy, you are reinforcing habits that shape your future. You are teaching yourself to prioritize long-term goals over short-term pleasure. You are strengthening your willpower, your focus, and your ability to persevere. Discipline is not built when things are easy. It is built when you persist through struggle. Each uncomfortable decision, each time you push past fatigue or fear, is a brick in the foundation of your future success. The more frequently you practice embracing discomfort, the stronger your discipline becomes and the more capable you are of achieving goals that would have seemed impossible before. Discomfort also teaches humility. It reminds you that you are not perfect, that you do not know everything, and that there's always room to learn and improve. When you face challenges, when you encounter obstacles, when you operate in situations that make you uncomfortable, you are confronted with the reality of your limitations. But these moments are not meant to discourage you. They are meant to guide you. They are meant to show you where you can grow, where you can expand, and where you can become. The person who embraces discomfort understands that humility is not weakness, but strength, because it allows them to recognize what must be improved and take action to develop themselves further. Growth through discomfort also builds resilience. Life will always test you. Life will always present challenges, unexpected setbacks, and moments of adversity. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can control how you respond. By consistently stepping into discomfort, you develop the mental toughness required to handle whatever comes your way. You learn to face adversity without fear, to maintain focus under pressure, and to persist when others would quit. Each uncomfortable moment you endure strengthens your ability to withstand future challenges, making you increasingly capable of achieving your goals, no matter the obstacles. Embracing discomfort also teaches courage. It takes bravery to step into situations where failure is possible. It takes courage to try new things, to take risks, and to challenge yourself beyond what feels safe. Every time you choose discomfort, you expand your comfort zone a little further. Each act of courage compounds over time, and before long, you find that you are capable of things you once thought impossible. The person who fears discomfort remains small, limited, and ordinary. The person who embraces discomfort grows bold, capable, and extraordinary. Courage and discomfort are inseparable companions on the road to success. Discomfort also exposes your weaknesses. When everything feels easy, you cannot identify what is holding you back. But when you are pushed, when you are challenged, when you are forced to operate under pressure, you see clearly where you need to improve. And that awareness is invaluable. It allows you to focus your energy on development, to refine your skills, and to strengthen the areas that are limiting your progress. Discomfort is a mirror that reflects both your strengths and weaknesses, giving you the insight you need to become a better version of yourself. The person who ignores discomfort remains unaware, while the person who embraces it grows deliberately and intentionally. Another critical lesson of embracing discomfort is learning to delay gratification. Most people give up what is necessary today because they want pleasure now. They choose comfort in the present and pay for it with limitations in the future. Those who embrace discomfort understand that short-term sacrifice leads to long-term success. They willingly endure struggle today because they know it is an investment in tomorrow. They understand that the momentary pain of hard work, discipline, and growth is far less significant than the lifelong rewards that result from it. Delayed gratification is a cornerstone of achievement, and it is only developed through a consistent willingness to embrace discomfort. Embracing discomfort also strengthens your character. Every challenge, every obstacle, every difficult decision you face and endure shapes who you are. Your values, your resolve, and your ability to persevere are forged in moments of struggle. The person who has never faced discomfort may have skills, talent, or knowledge, but without the experience of pushing through difficulty, they will not have the character required to sustain success. Discomfort builds the inner strength that ensures you not only reach your goals, but are able to maintain them and grow further. Character is developed, not given, and it is crafted in the fire of uncomfortable experiences. Growth through discomfort also fosters creativity and problem solving. When you are faced with difficult situations, when you are outside of your comfort zone, you are forced to think differently. You cannot rely on old habits or automatic responses. You must innovate, adapt, and find new solutions. These moments stretch your thinking, expand your perspective, and allow you to approach challenges with ingenuity. The more you embrace discomfort, the more capable you become of navigating complex situations, overcoming obstacles, and finding unique opportunities that others miss. Finally, embracing discomfort is essential, but because it allows you to discover your true potential. You cannot know what you are capable of until you are pushed beyond the familiar, until you confront fear, until you endure the trials that test your limits. Most people never reach their potential because they remain comfortable, content with mediocrity, and unwilling to challenge themselves. The moment you choose discomfort, you open the door to a version of yourself that is stronger, braver, smarter, and more capable than you ever imagined. Potential is unlocked through struggle, effort, and the consistent willingness to embrace the challenges that others avoid. Every step into discomfort is a step towards your best self. Every moment you endure difficulty, every time you choose action over ease, every time you push beyond fear, you are growing. Growth and potential do not exist in safety. They exist in challenge. They exist in adversity. They exist in the moments that stretch you and demand more than you think you have. To unlock your potential, you must embrace discomfort not occasionally, but consistently. You must make it a habit, a principle, a guiding force in your life. Only then will you truly see how far you can go, how much you can achieve, and who you are truly capable of becoming. Consistency is the cornerstone of success. It is the invisible force that separates dreamers from achievers, talkers from doers, and those who merely wish from those who accomplish. Most people underestimate the power of showing up day after day, of taking small actions consistently, because they are blinded by the allure of instant results, quick fixes, and overnight success. But let me tell you something. Nothing of value happens overnight. Every great achievement in history, every legendary story of success was built on consistent effort over time. The truth is, consistency compounds. Small actions repeated daily accumulate into massive results. And consistency is what turns potential into performance, effort into mastery, and ideas into reality. If you want to create a life of impact, abundance, and achievement, you must understand that consistency is king. Consistency demands discipline. It demands that you do what you said you would do even when you don't feel like it. It requires that you follow through on commitments to yourself and others, even when circumstances are challenging. Most people give up because they wait for motivation. They wait for motivation. They wait for energy. They wait for inspiration. But those things are temporary. Motivation comes and goes. Inspiration fluctuates. Energy levels rise and fall. Consistency, however, does not rely on feelings. It relies on commitment. When you are consistent, you move forward regardless of mood, situation, or temporary obstacle. That is why consistency is more powerful than talent, more powerful than luck, and more powerful than passion. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not flashy. It does not get applause or likes. It does not make headlines or social media buzz, but it produces results that last. Consistency is showing up when no one is watching, putting in the work when it is boring, and doing what must be done day after day, regardless of external recognition. Champions are not born in moments of glory. They are forged in the grind of repetition. It is the hundreds of unseen hours of practice, learning, sacrifice, and effort that create greatness. Every person who has achieved remarkable success understands that consistency is the foundation that supports every other principle of achievement. Without it, talent is wasted, opportunity is squandered, and potential remains untapped. The challenge of consistency is that it requires patience. It requires that you resist the temptation to expect instant results. Growth, mastery, and achievement are processes, not events. Most people fail to stay consistent because they want to see immediate progress. They give up too soon, thinking their effort is not producing results fast enough. But consistency is not about immediate gratification. It is about compounding effect. Every small action you take, every disciplined decision you make, adds to a larger pattern of success over time. Like a seed planted in the soil, the results of consistent effort may not be visible immediately, but with persistence, they grow into something extraordinary. Patience and persistence are inseparable companions of consistency. Consistency also builds trust with yourself and trust with others. When you consistently do what you say you will do, your confidence grows. You learn to rely on your own abilities. You develop credibility. You show yourself that you are capable of following through. The opposite is also true. Inconsistency erodes trust. When you make promises to yourself and break them, your confidence diminishes, your self-respect falters, and your potential is limited. Consistency teaches reliability, accountability, and integrity. It creates a foundation of personal strength that cannot be taken away. Every time you honor your commitments, no matter how small, you reinforce a pattern of excellence that compounds over time. Consistency is also the antidote to distractions. We live in a world full of instant gratification, constant entertainment, and endless distractions that seek to derail our progress. Most people drift, jumping from one thing to another, never building momentum. But when you are consistent, you develop focus. You build habits that protect your time, your energy, and your attention. You learn to prioritize what matters most. Habits formed through consistent effort automate success. They allow you to make progress even on days when motivation is low, when life is challenging, or when obstacles appear. Consistency transforms actions into rituals and rituals into results. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it creates momentum. Momentum is a force that builds over time. The longer you show up, the easier it becomes to keep showing up. Every day that you commit, every day that you persist, every day that you act, adds to the forward motion of your life. Small wins accumulate confidence, grows, and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to shrink. Momentum is earned through repeated action, and consistency is the key to generating it. Without consistency, you remain stuck, cycling through frustration and inaction, waiting for a breakthrough that would never come. Consistency is also a teacher of resilience. Life will challenge you. Setbacks, failures, and obstacles are inevitable. But when you are consistent, you develop the ability to endure. You learn to persevere even when the path is difficult, when results are delayed, or when circumstances are unfavorable. Every moment of persistence strengthens your capacity to handle adversity. The person who remains consistent despite setbacks becomes unshakable, capable of navigating the storms of life with poise, determination, and strength. Resilience grows from repeated effort, and consistency is the soil in which it is cultivated. Consistency is not about doing something perfectly. It is about showing up and doing your best repeatedly. It is about progress over perfection. Most people fail to maintain consistency because they are paralyzed by the desire to do things flawlessly. But perfectionism is a trap. Growth is messy. Progress requires error, mistakes, and learning, adjustments, and persistence. Consistency is forgiving. It allows you to improve incrementally, to learn from failure, and to continue moving forward. The person who is consistent does not let setbacks define them. They use them as stepping stones toward improvement. Consistency also compounds in ways that are invisible at first. Like interest in a bank account, the effects of repeated effort accumulate over time. A single day of action produces little result. A week shows some progress. But months and years of consistent effort transform your life. Small, disciplined actions repeated consistently lead to exponential outcomes. The results of consistency may not be immediate, but they are inevitable. The person who understands this principle invests in daily action, knowing that the long-term payoff will far exceed the temporary discomfort of showing up every day. Consistency is the foundation of mastery. Talent, intelligence, and skill are important. But without consistent practice, they remain underdeveloped. Musicians become great because they practice every day. Athletes become champion. Athletes become champion because they train consistently. Entrepreneurs succeed because they execute relentlessly. Consistency turns potential into skill, skill into confidence, into excellence. Every great performer in history understands that showing up repeatedly is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely dream about it. Consistency also builds confidence. Every time you follow through, every time you complete a task, every time you take action toward your goals, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence is not innate. It is earned through repeated demonstration of your own ability. The person who is consistent develops unshakable belief in themselves because they have created a track record of action, achievement, and follow through. In contrast, inconsistency fosters doubt, fear, and insecurity, undermining potential and limiting success. Consistency is also a form of leadership. People watch your actions more than your words. When you are consistent, others see reliability, integrity, and strength. You inspire those around you to step up, to follow through, and to maintain discipline in their own lives. Your consistency sets a standard and creates an environment of accountability and excellence. Leaders are not those who talk about change. They are those who consistently model it, day after day. in ways that cannot be ignored. Consistency is the secret to achieving long-term goals. Short-term bursts of effort produce temporary results, but they do not create lasting impact. Only consistent effort, sustained over months and years, builds a foundation for enduring success. Whether it is financial independence, physical fitness, mastery of a skill, or personal growth, the difference between those who achieve and those who do not is their ability to remain consistent. Goals are achieved not in moments, but in habits. Habits are formed through repetition. Repetition requires consistency. Finally, consistency requires commitment to your vision. It requires clarity about what you want and the willingness to act every day, no matter what obstacles appear. It requires self-discipline, resilience, patience, and courage. It is not always easy, and it is not always glamorous, but it is necessary. Consistency is king because it guarantees progress, momentum, and long-term success for those who practice it. The person who remains consistent will achieve far more than the talented individual who acts only sporadically. Consistency transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results, and it is the single most powerful tool you have to create a life of significance, impact, and achievement. Impact! The power of your why is the driving force behind everything you do. Without a clear, compelling reason for your actions, you are like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of the winds of circumstance. Most people live their lives reacting to situations, reacting to external pressures, reacting to others' expectations, and they never take the time to define their why. Your why is not just a reason, it's a purpose. A vision, a fire in your soul that propels you forward, even when the path is hard, when the odds are stacked against you, when everything inside of you wants to quit. Without your why, motivation fades quickly, commitment weakens, and obstacles become insurmountable. But when you discover your why and make it central to your life, nothing can stop you. Your why gives you clarity, focus, and an unshakable determination to push through adversity. It turns pain into purpose, struggle into strategy, and a hardship into opportunity. Your why is your personal mission. It is the reason you get out of bed before sunrise, the reason you sacrifice comfort and convenience, the reason you push past fear, fatigue, and doubt. It is what makes you unstoppable when others will give up. Most people try to achieve success without a why, and that is why they fail. They chase goals that do not resonate with their heart. Dreams that are borrowed from someone else's expectations, and victories that feel empty once achieved. Your why is deeply personal. It is tied to your value, your vision, and your unique purpose in life. It's the force that drives you even when the journey is hard. The obstacles are many and the rewards are delayed. Without it, effort becomes meaningless. With it, effort becomes unstoppable. Discovering your why requires self-introspection, honesty, courage. It requires that you ask yourself questions most people avoid. Why do I do what I do? What is my ultimate purpose? What am I willing to suffer for, sacrifice for, and commit to with unwavering focus? The process of finding your why is not always comfortable because it forces you to confront your fears, insecurities, and past failures. It forces you to look beyond the superficial desires of money, recognition, or status and dig deep into what truly matters to your soul. But once discovered, your why becomes a compass that guides every decision, shapes every action, and fuels every effort. It becomes the anchor that keeps you steady in the storms of life. Your why also provides resilience. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will present obstacles, setbacks, and moments where quitting seems like the easiest option. Without a why, these moments can break you. But with a why, these challenges become opportunity. They become stepping stones to growth. They become proof of your determination. Your why gives you the strength to persevere when motivation is gone, when energy is low, and when circumstances are stacked against you. It reminds you that the struggle is temporary, but the purpose is permanent. It transforms suffering into meaning and trials into triumph. The power of your why also creates focus. In a world full of distractions, competing demand, and constant noise, your why acts like a filter. It allows you to prioritize what matters most and ignore what is irrelevant. When your why is clear, you know where to invest your time, energy, and resources. You know which opportunities to pursue and which to let go. You know which relationships nurture your growth and which drain your energy. Focus is a byproduct of a strong why, and focus is what allows you to achieve results that others cannot. Without a why, you drift. With a why, you move with intention, precision, and power. Your why also influences your habits. The small daily choices you make are easier when they align with a larger purpose. When your why is strong, you are willing to do the things most people avoid. Waking up early, sacrificing comfort, pushing through fatigue, and maintaining discipline, because you understand that each small action compounds toward your ultimate vision. Your why turns mundane tasks into meaningful steps. It converts routine effort into deliberate practice. It makes consistency not just tolerable, but desirable. The person with a compelling why understands that the journey itself, with all its effort and sacrifice, is part of fulfilling their purpose. Your why also fuels courage. Fear is natural. Fear is inevitable. Everyone experiences fear when stepping into the unknown, when challenging themselves, and when pursuing big goals. What your why gives you? Why gives you a reason to act despite fear. It allows you to face uncertainty, take risks, and step outside of comfort zones because the stakes of inaction outweigh the fear of action. People without a strong why often let fear control them, and they settle for mediocrity. Those with a powerful why act despite fear because they understand that the path to greatness demands bravery, and bravery is always fueled by purpose. Your why also inspires others. When you are clear about your purpose and committed to it, your actions influence those around you. People are drawn to authenticity and passion. They are inspired by someone who operates with a deep sense of purpose. A strong why allows you to lead by example, to motivate and to uplift others without saying a word. Your energy, your commitment, and your clarity serve as a model for what is possible when you align action with purpose. By embracing your why, you not only transform your own life, but also create a ripple effect that can change the lives of those around you. The power of your why also provides clarity during failure. Life is not linear. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments where nothing seems to work. Those without a strong why often crumble in these moments because their actions were motivated by external factors, approval, money, recognition, rather than an internal compass. But those with a compelling why see failure as temporary. They see it as feedback, not defeat. They see it as information, not identity. Their why reminds them that the journey is not defined by a single setback, but by the cumulative effort over time. Failure becomes a teacher, adversity becomes fuel, and persistence becomes a habit. Your why also shapes your identity. Who you are is not determined by your circumstance, your past, or other people's opinions. Who you are is shaped by your purpose, by the reason you show up every day, and by the actions you take in alignment with that purpose. When you live in alignment with your why, you become authentic, you become intentional, you become unshakable. Your identity, rooted in purpose, creates a life of meaning, impact, and fulfillment. Those who lack a strong why often drift uncertain of who they are or what they stand for. But those with a clear why live with confidence, clarity, and power. Your why also drives perseverance over the long term. Short-term motivation is fleeting. Passion can fade. Inspiration comes and goes. But a deeply personal why endures. It carries you through the mundane, the repetitive, and the difficult. It reminds you why you started when the world seems discouraging. It fuels action when obstacles are present. It allows you to persist, to push, to fight, and to keep going when others quit. The people who achieve extraordinary results are those who have anchored themselves to a why so strong that quitting is never an option. Failure is only temporary. It's only temporary, and success inevitable. Your why also aligns your energy. Time, attention, and effort are finite resources. Without a why, they are wasted on things that do not matter. With a why, every choice, every action, every investment of energy is aligned with your ultimate vision. This alignment magnifies results, creates efficiency, and turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Your why acts like a lens focusing every decision, every step, and every strategy on what is most meaningful, ensuring that nothing is wasted and that your impact is maximized. A strong why also fosters resilience to criticism and opposition. People will doubt you, question you, and try to discourage you. Life will present obstacles designed to test your commitment. But when your why is clear, these challenges become fuel rather than barriers. Criticism becomes feedback. Doubt becomes motivation, and opposition becomes a test of your dedication. The stronger your why, the less power external negativity has over your actions. Those who understand this principle continue forward with unwavering focus, regardless of outside noise. Your why also inspires creativity and innovation. When you are deeply committed to a purpose, you are driven to find solutions to problems that others accept as impossible. Your why sparks imagination, encourages experimentation, and motivates you to think outside the box. You become resourceful, resilient, and relentless. The clarity of purpose allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It turns challenges into breakthroughs and limitations into innovation. Finally, your why creates legacy. Success is not only about what you achieve, but about the impact you leave behind. When your actions are guided by a compelling why, you are contributing to something greater than yourself. You are building a life of meaning, purpose, and influence. You are creating ripples that affect generations. Your why ensures that your efforts are not wasted on trivial pursuits, but directed toward a higher purpose that matters long after you are gone. Your why is the fuel that keeps your engine running when the journey is long. It is the light that guides you through darkness, the anchor that keeps you grounded during storms, and the fire that ignites your passion when obstacles loom. Every moment of effort, every sacrifice, every uncomfortable step is worth it when your why is clear. Without it, success is hollow. With it, success is inevitable. The power of your why is the difference between mediocrity and greatness, between giving up and rising, between settling and achieving the extraordinary. Discomfort is your friend. It is not the enemy, and it is not something to avoid. The truth is, life's greatest opportunities and your highest levels of growth exist on the other side of discomfort. Every person who has achieved greatness has learned to embrace discomfort, to step into the moments that are hard, awkward, uncertain, and challenging, because they know that comfort will never push them to their true potential. Most people spend their lives chasing comfort, seeking safety, and avoiding the moments that stretch them. And that is why most people live below their potential. Comfort is a trap. It is a lie disguised as peace. It feels good temporarily, but it robs you of progress, of strength, of opportunity, and of the life you are capable of living. Discomfort, on the other hand, is the gateway to growth, the doorway to excellence, and the pathway to greatness. If you can learn to embrace discomfort, to see it as a friend rather than a foe, you will unlock a life that most people only dream about. Discomfort teaches lessons that comfort never can. When you face difficulty, when you are pushed beyond your limits, when you are forced to operate in situations that make you uneasy, you are forced to grow. You are forced to adapt. You are forced to develop strength, skill, patience, and resilience. These lessons are invaluable because they are not theoretical. They are lived experience. Discomfort stretches you, shapes you, and transforms you in ways that no easy path ever could. The person who avoids discomfort may feel safe in the short term, but they never develop the capacity, the courage, or the discipline to handle life's challenges. Those who embrace discomfort understand that growth is uncomfortable by nature, and that avoiding pain only prolongs struggle. Every great achievement requires discomfort in some form, whether it is mental, physical, emotional, and financial, and recognizing this truth allows you to approach challenge with purpose rather than fear. Discomfort also develops resilience. Life is not easy. It is not fair. Challenges, setbacks, failures, and obstacles are inevitable. The person who has never faced discomfort has no training, no experience, and no preparation for the storms of life. But the person who has embraced discomfort understands that adversity is part of the journey, that struggle is necessary, and that persistence through difficulty is what produces results. Each uncomfortable situation you face, each obstacle you push through, each moment of pain you endure, builds your capacity to withstand greater challenges. Resilience is forged in fire, in moments where giving up would have been the easy choice. Discomfort becomes your teacher, your coach, and your training ground for handling anything life throws at you. Discomfort also reveals who you really are. It exposes your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your capacity for perseverance. When everything is easy, you do not know your limits. You do not know your potential. You do not know the depths of your courage or determination. But when you are pushed into uncomfortable situation, you discover what you are truly made of. These moments of discomfort are mirrors reflecting your true character. They show you what you are capable of enduring, achieving, and overcoming. Without discomfort, self-discovery is incomplete. With it, you gain insight, awareness, and the confidence to tackle challenges with clarity and determination. Discomfort forces action. It prevents complacency, stagnation, and mediocrity. When you are comfortable, you relax, you procrastinate, and you settle. Growth slow, potential remains untapped, and dreams remain unfulfilled. But when you embrace discomfort, it pushes you to act. It demands that you leave the familiar behind, that you confront fear, and that you engage with life fully. Discomfort activates a higher level of performance because it requires focus, determination, and effort. It is a catalyst that compels you to take steps you would otherwise avoid. The person who sees discomfort as a friend uses it as a signal to rise, to stretch, and to move toward the extraordinary. Discomfort also builds courage. Every time you step into a situation that makes you uneasy, every time you do something difficult, every time you challenge yourself despite fear, you are strengthening your courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. The more you embrace discomfort, the more opportunities you create to practice courage. Each time you overcome resistance, hesitation, or doubt, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Courage grows exponentially when you intentionally face discomfort, and over time, it becomes a defining feature of your character. Those who avoid discomfort remain small, timid, and constrained, while those who embrace it grow bold, confident, and capable of achieving extraordinary things. Discomfort also builds discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what is necessary even when you do not feel like it. Most people fail to develop discipline because they seek comfort and avoid challenge. They wait for motivation, inspiration, or energy. But these things are fleeting. Discipline is forged through consistent effort in situations that are difficult. Every time you choose to endure discomfort, to show up when it is hard, to push through resistance, you are building discipline. This discipline compounds over time, shaping habits, routines, and mindsets that support long-term success. The person who embraces discomfort understands that every sacrifice, every challenge, and every moment of resistance is an investment in their future self. Discomfort expands your vision. When you are uncomfortable, you are forced to think differently, to adapt, and to explore possibilities beyond what you previously considered. Comfort keeps you small because it limits your perspective to what is familiar and easy. Discomfort pushes you into uncharted territory, exposing you to new ideas, strategies, and opportunities. It challenges assumptions, tests your limits, and forces you to innovate. Growth, achievement, and transformation are all products of this expansion. The person who embraces discomfort does not see it as a barrier. They see it as a bridge to greater potential. Discomfort also fosters humility. It reminds you that you are not perfect, that you do not have all the answers, and that there is always room to learn, improve, and adapt. When life pushes you into uncomfortable situations, it exposes gaps in knowledge, skills, and character. These moments of humility are essential for growth because they prevent arrogance and complacency. They motivate you to seek knowledge, to develop competence, and to strengthen your capacity. The person who embraces discomfort understands that humility is not weakness. It's a doorway to wisdom, growth, and lasting success. Discomfort also strengthens perseverance. Success is rarely linear. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable. The person who avoids discomfort may quit at the first sign of challenge, but the person who embraces discomfort learns to persist. They develop the mental fortitude required to push through adversity, to stay committed to their goals, and to continue moving forward even when progress seems slow or invisible. Perseverance is built in moments of struggle, and discomfort provides the perfect environment to cultivate. The more you willingly engage with discomfort, the more persistent you become, and the closer you move to your goals with unwavering determination. Discomfort also enhances your problem-solving ability. When you are outside your comfort zone, faced with challenges, and required to perform under pressure, your mind is forced to think creatively, adapt strategically, and innovate. Comfort allows you to coast, to repeat familiar actions, and to rely on the status quo. Discomfort forces you to confront uncertainty, find solutions, and navigate complexity. The person who embraces discomfort becomes resourceful, capable, and effective in solving problems that others see as impossible. Each challenge endured strengthens your mental acuity, your strategic thinking, and your ability to thrive under pressure. Discomfort also builds emotional strength. Life is full of unpredictable circumstances, difficult relationships, and moments of stress, disappointment, and loss. Those who avoid discomfort often struggle to cope with these challenges because they have never developed the emotional resilience to endure pain, disappointment, or conflict. But the person who embraces discomfort learns to regulate their emotions, maintain composure, and respond with clarity and intelligence even in difficult situations. Emotional strength is cultivated through facing challenges, confronting fear, and enduring experiences that test patience, empathy, and self-control. Discomfort is the training ground for this essential life skill. Discomfort also fuels motivation and urgency. When you experience discomfort, it serves as a signal that growth is occurring. It reminds you that you are stretching, challenging yourself, and moving towards something greater. Instead of avoiding discomfort, the person who embraces it uses it as a compass, a motivator, and a source of energy. Each uncomfortable moment becomes an opportunity to act, to improve, or to move closer to your vision. The more you engage with discomfort, the more motivated and intentional you become, because you understand that the path to success. Discomfort also teaches gratitude. When you face hard situations and push through them, you learn to appreciate moments of ease, progress, and achievement. You recognize the value of effort, struggle, and persistence, and you develop a deep appreciation for the journey itself. Gratitude born from discomfort is different from superficial appreciation. It is profound, earned, and transformative. It strengthens your character, enhances your perspective, and fuels a mindset that embraces challenges rather than fears them. Finally, discomfort is your friend because it's a sign that you are alive, growing, and pursuing your potential. Every moment of discomfort is a signal that you are stretching beyond limitation, taking risks, and stepping into the unknown. It is a reminder that you are not settling, that you are moving forward, and that you are engaged in the pursuit of excellence. The person who embraces discomfort understands that nothing meaningful, valuable, or transformative ever comes from ease. Comfort may feel safe, but it produces stagnation. Discomfort may feel hard, but it produces strength, growth, and greatness. The choice is yours. Continue chasing comfort and remain ordinary, or embrace discomfort and unlock the extraordinary life that awaits. And now, as this journey comes to a close, understand this. Everything you have heard today means nothing if you do not act on it. Motivation without movement is just entertainment. Inspiration without execution is just noise. Knowledge without application is powerless. The real work begins when the video ends, when the music fades, and when you are left alone with your thoughts, your habits, and your choices. This is where champions are separated from spectators. This is where dreams either die or come alive. You already know what you need to do. You already feel it in your spirit. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing. Will you choose discipline over comfort? Will you choose consistency over convenience? Will you choose purpose over pleasure? Because the life you want is waiting on the decisions you make today. Understand that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to wake up early for you. Nobody's going to do the workouts for you. Nobody is going to study for you. Nobody's going to chase your dreams for you. This is your responsibility. This is your journey. This is your moment. You can either keep making excuses or you can make progress. You can either keep talking about what you want or you can start doing what is required. Greatness does not respond to wishes. Greatness responds to work. And that work must happen when you are tired, when you are discouraged, when you feel behind, and when nobody is clapping for you. You must understand that growth is uncomfortable, change is painful, and transformation is demanding. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be nights when doubt creeps in. There will be moments when you question your ability and your worth. But hear me clearly. Those moments do not define you. What defines you is how you respond to them. Do you fold under pressure or do you rise? Do you retreat into comfort, or do you lean into discomfort? Do you let fear decide your future, or do you move forward anyway? Every great story includes struggle. Every breakthrough comes after resistance. Every victory requires sacrifice. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for approval. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Progress begins with action, not intention. You do not need everything figured out to take the first step. You just need courage. Courage to try. Courage to learn. Courage to learn. Courage to keep going. The road will not always be clear, but clarity comes through movement. Direction comes through effort. Confidence comes through consistency. Remember who you are becoming, not who you used to be, not who people said you were, who you are becoming. You are becoming disciplined. You are becoming focused. You are becoming focused. You are becoming resilient. You are becoming unstoppable. Every small decision you make is shaping that future version of you. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you are building strength. Every time you show up when it's hard, you are building character. Every time you refuse to quit, you are building legacy. And let me tell you something powerful. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be committed. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. You will have setbacks. That is part of the process. But do not let temporary failure turn into permanent defeat. Learn from it. Adjust. Get back up. Keep moving. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you keep going, you are still in the game. Protect your why. Guard your vision. Stay connected to your purpose. Because when things get hard, and they will, your why is what will carry you. Your why is what will wake you up early. Your why is what will keep you grinding when nobody is watching. Your why is what will help you push past pain and stay focused when distractions are everywhere. Success without purpose is empty. But success fueled by purpose changes lives, including your own. You are capable of more than you think. Your limits are mostly self-created. Your potential is far greater than your fears. But potential alone will not change your life. Action will. Discipline will. Consistency will. Discomfort will. These are the tools that build greatness. These are the habits that separate average from exceptional. These are the choices that turn ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. So when you leave here today, leave with fire. Leave with clarity. Leave with commitment. Do not go back to the same routines, the same excuses, the same mindset. Rise to a higher standard. Demand more from yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Become obsessed with your growth. Become relentless in your pursuit. Become uncomfortable on purpose. Because comfort will keep you stuck, but discomfort will set you free. There's a version of you waiting on the other side of discipline. There is a stronger, wiser, more confident version of you waiting on the other side of consistency. There is a successful, fulfilled, purpose-driven version of you waiting on the other side of discomfort. But that version only appears if you keep going, if you keep pushing, if you refuse to quit. This world does not need another person who talks about dreams. It needs people who are willing to work for them. It needs people who are willing to stand up when life knocks them down. It needs people who are willing to lead with action, courage, and integrity. Let that person be you. And remember this, your past does not define you. Your mistakes do not own you. Your circumstances do not control you. What defines you is what you do next. Today is a new opportunity. Right now is your moment. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose discipline. Choose consistency. Choose your why. And choose to become everything you were created to be. Because at the end of the day, greatness is not given. It is earned. One decision at a time. One sacrifice at a time. One uncomfortable step at a time. And if you are willing to do what most people won't, you will eventually live the life most people can't. Now go, take action, stay hungry, stay focused, and never forget you were built for more.